In today's wrap-up, the Armenian government is going to lift the restrictions on air transportation in September. Member of the parliament Arsen Julfalakian resigned from his position because of disagreements with the Minister of Education, Science, Culture and Sport, Araik Harutyunyan. Demonstrators in Yerevan showed their support for the Belarusian protesters. The citizens of Armenia wishing to leave for Russia held a rally in the streets of Yerevan. 179 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed. The government is going to lift the restrictions on air transportation in September, Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan announced during a governmental session on September 10. The Civil Aviation Committee is collecting applications on which companies can carry out direct transportation. Since the start of the COVID-19 outbreak in March, the Armenian borders were closed and all flights were suspended. As in many countries, the consequences of the pandemic on Armenian tourism was dramatic. The number of tourists in Armenia has significantly decreased in the first half of this year. According to the Statistical Committee data, 311,264 tourists arrived in Armenia in January-June, twice less compared with the same period of last year. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan added that visitors from abroad will be able to directly have a PCR test and get the results in one day if they are not willing to isolate for 2 weeks after their arrival in Armenia. Member of the Armenian parliament and world champion of Greco-Roman wrestling from the ruling Maisteb faction, Arsen Julfalakian, has resigned. On his Facebook page, the lawmaker stated that there are disagreements with the Minister of Education, Science, Culture and Sport, Araik Harutyunyan, over the current management approaches of the spheres under the minister's jurisdiction. I think that the current direction has no prospect and will not ensure the solution and development of the issues existing in these spheres. Therefore, in such a situation, my future activity will surely not serve my mission as a member of parliament, wrote Julfalakian. The lawmaker added that there are signals that developments in education, science, culture and sports are largely going in the wrong direction. The professional opinions of the representatives of the spheres are not taken into account. There are no short-term and long-term visions for the development of the spheres, and the changes do not have the necessary speed and logic, and the personal policies is often incomprehensible. A protest took place today in Yerevan, right in front of the Embassy of Belarus. The Eastern Partnership Civil Society Forum, together with the AEGEE Yerevan, a European interdisciplinary student organization which has a branch in Yerevan, organized the event. According to the organizations, 3 Belarusian public figures and members of the Eastern Partnership Civil Society Forum were arrested by President Lukashenko's regime. Hundreds of people have been arrested in Belarus following a 4th consecutive weekend of protests. Some citizens of Armenia wishing to leave for Russia held a rally in the streets of Yerevan for the 3rd time. They put posters on cars in Russian with "Khachu v Rossiyu" written, which means "I want to go to Russia." They are asking for the Armenian government to take measures to send them back to Russia for work. These citizens are seasonal migrant workers who mainly work in the fields of business or construction in Russia to send remittances to their families in Armenia. Because of the COVID-19 outbreak of March, many of these workers were forced to stay in Armenia as the borders were closed. In Russia, the situation is reversed. Many Armenian citizen workers are stuck in the country and lost their jobs because of the pandemic. They are currently in a difficult socio-economic situation and want to return to Armenia. As of September 10, 174 new cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in Armenia. 210 people have recovered and 1 person has died due to COVID-19. According to the Ministry of Health, 5.3% of the tests were positive. A total of 45,326 cases of coronavirus disease were confirmed since March, of which 41,233 have recovered.